brings the hair up. It still does.
They said that they're going to come in here, you know, they're the butchers and we're the hogs. The thing they forgot is before a hog goes to the butcher, somebody got to kill it.
Friends, I'm Mark Holmes, host of the Jobu Sports Report. The 2017 season is now upon us. The offseason is over. All the talk is done. The teams are set. And I, for one, friends, cannot wait. But you guys know that I'm a student of the game. I love the history about football, the greatest sport in the world. Because if you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you've been. Now, I get a lot of flack because I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm told you can't be a Dallas Cowboy fan if you're not from Dallas. Well, I dare say it's even harder to be a Dallas Cowboy fan living in the shadow of the Washington Redskins. See, I'm old. I grew up when the Washington Redskins played here at RFK Stadium, when they were relevant in winning Super Bowls. They won 3 Super Bowls when RFK was their home. And growing up, I was in their shadow. I played football with Richie Pettibone, their defensive coordinator's kids. We played, Joe Gibbs' son was a starting quarterback in our crosstown rival. But yet, I stayed true to my Dallas Cowboys. And if you don't believe that being a Dallas Cowboy fan abroad is difficult, ask a Dallas Cowboy fan from Philadelphia how hard it is to be a true blue Cowboy fan. Now, football, it's the greatest sport in the world. Football is the fabric of our society. Football teaches us so much. When you think you have nothing else to give, you learn to dig down deeper and give some more. You realize that you're never out of the battle, and there's always a chance to win, and you never give up. It's like being an American. The great thing, though, and the reason I love football is it relates to some of the first memories I had growing up. I sat there on the couch with my father, who was a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. Before they ever won Super Bowls, before they were known as the Bandwagon team or America's team, he was a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, and that's how I became one. How did he become a Dallas Cowboy fan? Growing up here in Washington, it's real simple. It's because of this man right here, Preston Marshall, the founder and owner of the Washington Redskins. Preston Marshall and the Washington Redskins were the last team to integrate. See, in 1946, the NFL started having black players on teams. And in fact, in 1949, they began drafting black players. Football started to integrate society. Football started to integrate society. It was the change mechanism, as well as baseball, to start bringing us together. But Preston Marshall didn't want to have any of that. So my father saying and living through segregation and discrimination, there's no way in the world he could be a Washington Redskin fan, not with what they were doing. So he became a Dallas Cowboy fan. But now, here's what's interesting, because I always say if you don't know your history, you are destined to repeat it. I bet a lot of you think that Colin Kaepernick is the first person to ever make a protest during the national anthem. You don't know your history, because it was the Dallas Cowboys who Preston Marshall didn't want to have in existence. The Dallas Cowboys who held the Redskins fight song hostage until they could become a team. It was those Dallas Cowboys in 1961 that had the Chicken Club. The Chicken Club was there to fight racism. What they had planned to do in 1961 at halftime, they had fans with pockets full of chicken feed. They had 2 crates with 71 chickens, 70 white ones and 1 black one. The black one representing a black player, and that Preston Marshall was chicken to have one. The idea was, when Santa Claus in a sled was going off at halftime, throw the chicken feed on the field and release the chickens as a protest. Unfortunately, the official that they tried to bribe to get the 2 crates of chickens on was actually the general manager of the Washington Redskins, and had them arrested. But not daunted, the Chicken Club would not give up. The Chicken Club, in fact, came back the following year, and they went to Preston Marshall's hotel, and they put a turkey in his bathroom. And when Preston Marshall went to the bathroom, Oh, he got a surprise. He had a great big gobbler swelling up and gobbling at him, and he ran out of the hotel and said, you know, it's one thing to deal with the chicken. It's a whole nother to deal with the turkey. But the chicken club didn't stop there, because they had banners at the beginning of the game when they started playing the fight song that opened up about being chicken. And they hired 2 acrobats and dressed them in chicken suits. And during the fight song, they ran out onto the field, doing somersaults and backflips and throwing colored eggs into the crowd. Boom. Of course, the police tried to apprehend him and got the first chicken. The second chicken, oh, he was elusive. He kept running around doing somersaults at midfield. And it was this time, while the national anthem was playing, that the teams came rushing onto the field. And that chicken escaped. The national register for that game, for attendance, recorded 48,999 people and 1 chicken. And that's a true story, friends. That game, that team, and the NFL helped to bring change to society. So when we look at Colin Kaepernick, understand that what's happening with him is not anything new. It's history repeating itself. He's trying to use his platform to make it better for everybody. Whether you agree with or disagree, understand that that's what it's about. Just remember that football is the greatest sport in the world. Football is a game that we all love. Understand that football, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Spanish, Asian, rich or poor. Football is something that brings us all together because we all love football so much. And I am proud to be an American, and I am proud to be able to bring you my take on it. The 2017 season is here. We're going to have a great time. And with you guys, friends, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to talk about our Dallas Cowboys, and we'll relate it to things that have happened in the past. We'll talk about the things that are going on here now. We'll look at our teams versus the teams coming up. We'll talk about what you guys feel about the team. And we're going to have a great time. So, friends, I'm Mark Holmes. Jobu, well, he's down at the bottom of the statue. I don't know if you can see him in the shadows. And behind me is a place that I truly hate. FedEx Field. Excuse me, RFK. I'm Mark Holmes. Thank you guys for watching and enjoying this history lesson. Boy, talk about being dysfunctional. The Washington Redskins have a statue here for Preston Marshall, their founder. And they're so dysfunctional that they misspelled capital. And they just came back over and just chopped an A on top of it. Yeah, the Washington Redskins, the dumpster fire.